Can't sleep. I'm hungry.
Just cut about some peanuts.
The casting process for the 1986 TV series Perfect Strangers involved auditions and chemistry tests to find the right actors for each role. Each key actor was chosen based on their suitability for the character they would portray. Insights into pivotal moments during auditions and chemistry tests helped define the final casting decisions.
Balki, that was the photo editor from the Chicago Weekly Gazette.
The director of Perfect Strangers, Joel Zwick, brought a unique vision to the TV series. He aimed to create a relatable and funny show about two cousins from different cultures learning to live together. Zwick drew inspiration from his own experiences and his love for physical comedy. Zwick's directing style was hands-on and collaborative. He worked closely with the cast and crew, encouraging them to bring their own ideas to the table. He created a positive and energetic atmosphere on set, which helped the actors to feel comfortable and perform at their best. One of Zwick's key creative influences was the classic comedy duo Laurel and Hardy. He admired their ability to create humor through physicality and timing. Zwick incorporated this style into Perfect Strangers, using visual gags and sight jokes to enhance the comedic moments. In addition to his comedic influences, Zwick also drew inspiration from his background in theater. He approached each episode as a mini-play, focusing on character development and story arcs. This approach helped to give the show a strong narrative foundation and allowed the characters to grow and evolve over time. Zwick's vision for Perfect Strangers was to create a show that was both funny and heartful. He wanted to tell stories that resonated with audiences and explored the complexities of human relationships. Through his collaborative approach and unique directing style, Zwick was able to bring this vision to life and create a beloved TV series that has stood the test of time.
Germs are little tiny living organisms that cause sickness, disease, and...
Let's talk about the 1986 TV series Perfect Strangers. It's filled with funny, shocking, and sad moments that keep you hooked. What makes this show timeless? What's your most cherished memory or personal experience related to Perfect Strangers? Share your stories and memories in the comments below.
Stay happy. Remember Uncle Pete.
The production of the 1986 TV series Perfect Strangers took place in various locations, including the famous CBS Studio Center in Studio City, Los Angeles. The set design was a crucial aspect of the production, and the team paid great attention to detail in creating the living spaces of the main characters, Larry Appleton and Balki Bartokomous. The apartments were designed to reflect the personalities of the characters, with Larry's apartment being more modern and cluttered, while Balki's was traditional and simple. The production team also had to tackle logistical challenges, such as filming in front of a live audience. The show's format, which featured a mix of traditional 3-camera filming and live audience reactions, required careful planning and coordination. The crew had to ensure that the set changes, lighting, and sound were all synchronized perfectly to create a seamless viewing experience. One innovative technique employed during the production of Perfect Strangers was the use of video effects to create the illusion of Balki's homeland, Mypos. The show's creators wanted to give the impression that Balki came from a far-off, exotic place, but they didn't have the budget to film on location. Instead, they used video effects to superimpose images of Greek islands and other Mediterranean locales onto the set, creating the illusion of Mypos. Overall, the production of Perfect Strangers was a complex process that required careful planning, attention to detail, and innovative techniques to bring the show to life. The result was a beloved sitcom that has endured for decades and remains a favorite among audiences today.
Keith, go ahead.
Perfect Strangers is a classic television show that first aired in 1986 and ran for 8 seasons, totaling 150 episodes. The show revolves around the relationship between two cousins, Larry Appleton and Balki Bartokomous, who are polar opposites. Larry is a money-driven American who is initially skeptical of Balki, a sweet and naive immigrant from a small Mediterranean island called Mypos. The show was a staple of TGIF, a programming block on ABC that aired on Friday nights. Many families, like mine, would gather together every week to watch the show. I have fond memories of watching Perfect Strangers with my family and being sad when the series ended, as evidenced by the fact that we all cried during the curtain call of the final episode. Perfect Strangers is a great family show that has stood the test of time. It is enjoyable to watch, and I appreciate the fact that it is now available on cable for a new generation to discover. The show's humor and the chemistry between the two main characters make it a must-watch. The first 5 seasons of Perfect Strangers are particularly noteworthy. Larry, played by Linn-Baker, is hilarious, especially when he comes up with a new scheme. His character is initially money-grubbing, but still somewhat redeemable. Balki, played by Bronson Pinchot, is very naive and speaks broken English when he first arrives in America. His naivety often lands him and Larry in trouble, but his innocence and trusting nature make him a lovable character. However, starting with the 6th season, the show takes a turn for the worse. Larry becomes a pathological liar who is consumed by greed, and Balki becomes less intelligent and more foolish. Additionally, the introduction of new girlfriends for both characters, Jennifer and Marianne, is disappointing. I preferred Susan, the red-haired girl from the first 2 seasons, who was down to earth and intelligent. Despite its flaws, Perfect Strangers remains a classic television show that is worth watching. The first 5 seasons, in particular, are excellent and showcase the talents of the 2 main actors. While the show may have run for too long and become unrecognizable by the end, it is still a beloved part of television history that has left a lasting impact on those who watched it.
And my mind is oatmeal.
The creation of a film score and soundtrack is a crucial aspect of storytelling, as it enhances the narrative and emotional tone of the production. In the case of the 1986 TV series Perfect Strangers, the music played a significant role in shaping the audience's experience. David Paich and Joseph Callaghan were the composers responsible for the show's score. They aimed to create music that would complement the comedic and heartwarming moments of the series, while also highlighting the cultural clash between the 2 main characters, Larry Appleton and Balki Bartokomous. Paich and Callaghan drew inspiration from various musical styles, including traditional Greek music to reflect Balki's heritage, and contemporary American pop music to represent Larry's world. The fusion of these styles created a unique and engaging sound that added depth to the characters and their stories. The soundtrack also featured popular songs from the 1980s and further enhancing the show's appeal to its audience. These songs were carefully selected to match the tone of each episode and to amplify the emotional impact of the scenes. In creating the music for Perfect Strangers, Paich and Callaghan sought to strike a balance between the comedic and serious elements of the show. They understood that the music needed to support the narrative without overpowering it, and they achieved this through their thoughtful and deliberate approach to composition. The result was a memorable and enduring soundtrack that has become synonymous with the series. The music of Perfect Strangers continues to resonate with audiences today, serving as a testament to the power of music in storytelling. In the TV series Perfect Strangers, which aired from 1986 to 1993, Balki Bartokomous, played by Bronson Pinchot, had a beloved stuffed sheep named Dimitri. Interestingly, after the spin-off show Family Matters premiered in 1989, Jo Marie Payton, who played Harriette Winslow on Perfect Strangers, no longer appeared on the show. Her character was revealed to have been fired from her position as an elevator operator at the Chicago Chronicle in Family Matters' Two-Income Family. Linn-Baker and Bronson Pinchot are the only cast members to appear in all 150 episodes of Perfect Strangers, with Pinchot being the only one to appear in every single episode. The absence of Payton's character and the departure of the elevator operator position were never addressed on Perfect Strangers, making these changes somewhat noticeable to eagle-eyed viewers.
I'm trying to unjoin Ruben's perfect body.
You can't. I am in.
One of the most iconic scenes in Perfect Strangers is from the pilot episode, when Larry Appleton's quiet life is turned upside down by the arrival of his distant cousin, Balki Bartokomous. As Larry tries to adjust to his new roommate, Balki's eccentric and naive personality clashes with Larry's uptight and rigid demeanor. In this particular scene, Balki has just arrived in America and is overwhelmed by the sights and sounds of Chicago. He becomes fixated on a pair of rollerbladers and decides he must try the activity for himself. Larry, exasperated by Balki's antics, tries to dissuade him, but Balki is determined. The direction in this scene is excellent, with the camera capturing both the wonder and confusion on Balki's face as he tries to navigate the busy streets of Chicago. The use of close-ups and wide shots also highlights the contrast between Balki's excitement and Larry's frustration. The performances of both Bronson Pinchot and Linn-Baker are also noteworthy. Pinchot's portrayal of Balki's childlike innocence and enthusiasm is both endearing and hilarious, while Linn-Baker's exasperated reactions provide the perfect counterbalance. The impact of this scene on the audience is significant, as it sets the tone for the rest of the series and establishes the central conflict between the two main characters. The scene is also memorable for its humor and physical comedy, which became a hallmark of the show. According to Pinchot, the rollerblading scene was his idea, and he spent several days practicing before the shoot. Linn-Baker has also commented on the chemistry between the two actors, stating that their contrasting personalities and comedic styles made for a dynamic and entertaining duo. Overall, the rollerblading scene in Perfect Strangers is a standout moment in the series, showcasing the talents of both the actors and the production team. Its impact on the audience is still felt today, as the show continues to be a beloved classic of 80s television. In the TV series Perfect Strangers from 1986, actress Belita Moreno played two separate characters. Initially, she portrayed Mr. Twinkacetti's wife, Edwina, for the first two seasons. However, she also made an early appearance as a different character, Lydia, in the first season's 5th episode. Interestingly, in the 3rd season, she took on the more prominent role of Lydia. The original casting for Lou Appleton was Louis Anderson, but he was later replaced by Linn-Baker as Larry Appleton. In an unusual turn of events, shortly after the final season of Perfect Strangers concluded in 1993, Bronson Pinchot starred in the short-lived sitcom The Trouble with Larry, where he played an American named Larry. Coincidentally, Linn-Baker, who played an American named Larry on Perfect Strangers, appeared in the premiere Broadway production of Neil Simon's Laughter on the 23rd Floor during the same fall, where he portrayed a Russian immigrant.
I'm confused. I thought you stayed here to lose my money to teach me a lesson.
Perfect Strangers, the TV series from 1986, had a significant cultural and social impact on audiences. The show resonated with viewers through its portrayal of cultural differences and the theme of friendship. It influenced pop culture by popularizing catchphrases like "Don't be ridiculous" and "Balki Baltokomous." Perfect Strangers also contributed to discussions on social themes such as tolerance, acceptance, and the immigrant experience. Through its light-hearted humor and endearing characters, the series brought attention to these important issues in a relatable and engaging way, making it a memorable and influential part of television history.
Ironed them.
You ironed my...
Bronson Pinchot, the actor who played Balki Baltokomous in Perfect Strangers, made a point to differentiate his character's accent from that of Latka Gravas, a popular foreign character on the sitcom Taxi. While Latka's home country was never disclosed, Balki hailed from the fictional island of Mypos. Mypos, which may have been inspired by Cyprus, was a unique place with only one phone, a national sport of spitting, and indoor plumbing reserved solely for the royal family. The island's main sources of income were sheep herding and a single 7-Eleven store. Larry, Balki's cousin and roommate, had a large family with 8 siblings, but only Billy and Elaine made appearances on the show.
Well, for one thing, it's the only dream I've got. But who was it that said, you can't set your...
The 1986 TV series Perfect Strangers received positive critical reception, with many reviewers praising the comedic chemistry between the main characters. Audience reactions were also favorable, as viewers enjoyed the lighthearted humor and relatable storylines. The series garnered several award nominations, recognizing its writing and performances. These accolades signify recognition and validation for the cast and crew's hard work, talent, and dedication to creating an entertaining and memorable show.
Do you think that I might be able to borrow your Thanks.
In an interesting turn of events, the writers for another popular show, Family Matters, originally planned to have Mark Linn-Baker and Bronson Pinchot make a guest appearance as Larry and Balki. However, due to time constraints, this scene was ultimately cut from the script before filming began. Throughout the series, Balki affectionately refers to Larry as cousin and mentions him as Cousin Larry when talking about him to others. Interestingly, Larry Appleton's character was named after Lawrence University in Appleton, Wisconsin. During the filming of Perfect Strangers in 1986, there was a memorable moment when the cast surprised Mark Linn-Baker for his birthday. The crew managed to sneak a cake onto the set, and when the time came, they all gathered around to sing happy birthday to him. Mark was genuinely touched by the gesture and appreciated the thoughtfulness of his colleagues. It was a heartwarming behind-the-scenes experience that brought the cast and crew closer together on set.
Hey, don't get crazy.
Wait a minute.
The exterior shots of Larry and Balki's first apartment in the TV series Perfect Strangers were filmed at the now demolished Santa Rita Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. The building was remodeled, and its upper stories were removed, with only the ground floor remaining and housing several small shops. The second apartment, seen in exterior shots from seasons 3 to 6, is located in Lincoln Park, Chicago, at the northwest corner of West Dickens Avenue and North Clark Street, with little change in appearance. The character of Balki was initially named Vev, but Bronson Pinchot, who played Balki, suggested the name based on his sister's dog, Balcony, nicknamed Ballsy. The series was originally developed for airing in 1985, but Bronson Pinchot's commitment to another series delayed its release until 1986. When that series was canceled, the producers quickly hired Pinchot and continued developing their show.
It's times like this that a man realizes who his friends are.
Perfect Strangers, the 1986 TV series, holds a special place in television history. The show introduced the American audience to a unique cultural exchange between an American and a foreigner, specifically a Palestinian cousin. This innovative concept broadened the representation of diverse cultures on American television. The series served as a stepping stone for its lead actors, including Bronson Pinchot, who played the witty and eccentric Balki Bartokomous. Pinchot's performance inspired future casting choices where quirky and lovable characters became more prevalent in television and film. Perfect Strangers also had a lasting impact on situational comedy or sitcoms by exploring various aspects of fish-out-of-water narratives. Its influence can be seen in numerous modern sitcoms that utilize cultural misunderstandings and clashes for comedic effect. Moreover, the series paved the way for other successful spin-off shows, such as Family Matters, which originally featured a supporting character from Perfect Strangers. This demonstrates the show's ability to create engaging and memorable characters that could support their own series. In summary, Perfect Strangers left an indelible mark on television history through its groundbreaking cultural representation, character development, and successful spin-offs. Its impact on future filmmaking and subsequent works continues to resonate today.
I really wanted a cheerleader. I really wanted a cheerleader.
Louis Anderson originally starred in the pilot episode of the sitcom Perfect Strangers, playing the character Larry. However, he was replaced by Mark Linn-Baker for the series due to chemistry issues with co-star Bronson Pinchot. In the opening credits, Larry and Balki are seen going to a play called The Odd Couple, which was previously adapted as a successful TV series on the same network as Perfect Strangers. Interestingly, Bronson Pinchot shared that Nelson Mandela was a fan of the show. Mandela, who was still president of South Africa at the time, expressed his admiration through a note passed to Pinchot during an event in South Africa.
That other man must...
Mark Linn-Baker and Bronson Pinchot, both Yale alumni, not only earned undergraduate Bachelor of Arts degrees, but also Masters of Fine Arts degrees in drama from Yale. Originally, Pinchot turned down the role, feeling it resembled his role in Beverly Hills Cop. However, a trip to Greece changed his mind. He admired the generosity of the Greek people and wanted to play the character. Interestingly, Pinchot claims he never wore underwear for his character on the show. In the popular 1980s television series Perfect Strangers, the opening credits of seasons 3 through the end show Balki and Larry on a tour boat passing under a bridge on the Chicago River. Interestingly, the opening credits of the show's spin-off series, Family Matters, feature the Winslow family riding their bikes over the same bridge during seasons 1-3. This connection between the two shows creates a sense of continuity and shared universe, adding an extra layer of enjoyment for viewers.
No. What I meant about that was, if you want to help people, you should. But you shouldn't do...
In the popular 1986 TV series Perfect Strangers, a tragic event occurred behind the scenes. One of the show's main characters, Bartokomous, was played by actor Bronson Pinchot. Pinchot's portrayal of the lovable and naive character made him a household name, but few people know that he suffered a great loss during the filming of the show. In 1991, Pinchot's younger brother, Justin, died by suicide. The actor was devastated by the news, and he took a brief hiatus from acting to grieve. When Pinchot returned to Perfect Strangers, he brought a new depth and emotion to his performance, which added a layer of complexity to Balki's character. The tragic event in Pinchot's personal life had a profound impact on the show, and it remains a sad footnote in the series' history.
Well, that's a real idea.
Share your own experiences and memories of the 1986 TV series Perfect Strangers. Discuss how the show impacted you personally or influenced your perspective on cinema. Engage with us by liking, sharing, and subscribing for more cinematic explorations. Your stories matter.
Why?
Because that is what responsible people do.